The following video is filled with spoilers. Please enjoy the anime first or watch this video knowing everything meaningful will be spoiled. Thank you. For my entire life I watched anime trying to find satisfaction. The ability to separate reality with fiction was something I always dreamed of. However, every year I am reminded by the sadness of my first ever romance anime. The deceptive intro to the harsh reality of the show still makes me think, was this show supposed to be happy or sad? Arima Kosei is a young piano prodigy who can't play the piano. Music, tablature, hell, even melodies. Everything reminds him of the day he lost his ability to play piano. Now, Arima can still listen to music and transcribe it. In fact, he does it for a part-time job. Arima's mom had a dream to raise him into a world-class pianist. Every day, Arima tried his best working on his skills. Arima's mom was strict, yelling and even beating young Arima. Crying or not, nothing would stop her from trying to raise the next great musician. All young Arima did was say yes, because if it made his sick mom feel better, then everything was worth it. Take the piano away, and Arima has nothing. Arima wanders around a park and meets a blonde-haired girl, Kaori Miyazono. This is when Arima's life changed forever. Arima and Kaori are both musicians. However, Kaori needs to be the light that helps Arima. Arima needs to find his love for music again and get freed from the chains his dead mom put on him. We see Arima's rough childhood, see the experience of heartbreak and how an illness can take a loved one away. And yet, this story has a happy ending. The letter Kaori wrote before her death was deception in its purest form. The letter reads, "Dear Arima Kosei, it feels weird writing you a letter when you were just here with me. You're an awful person. Laggard, slowpoke, dummy. The first time I ever saw you was when I was 5. It was during the recital for the piano school I went to back then. The boy who seemed so awkward and drove the audience to laughter when he knocked the stool with his hip. He sat at a piano that was too big for him. Yet, the moment he played that first note, I idolized him. Playing notes as colorful as a 24 color palette, the melody began to dance. I was totally surprised when the kid next to me burst out crying. And yet, you quit playing the piano. After influencing my life that way? How awful is that? Awful, slowpoke, dummy. When I found out that we were going to the same junior high, I was elated. How could I find a way to talk to you? Maybe I'll go buy sandwiches every day. But in the end, all I could do was watch you. After all, you guys were too tightly knit. There was no space for me to slip into. I had surgery as a child and was treated regularly as an outpatient. After I collapsed in 7th grade, I was in and out of the hospital repeatedly. I started spending more time in and out. I was hardly ever in school by then. I knew that I wasn't very well. One night, I saw my mother and father crying in the hospital waiting room. I realized that I didn't have much time. That was the moment. I ran for it. I started doing whatever I wanted so I wouldn't bring regrets with me to heaven. I wore contact lens, which freaked me out. I ate a whole cake, which I'd never done before because I was worried about my weight. Even the music scores that bossed me around so hauntingly, I played them my way. And then I told a single lie. Miyazono Kaori likes Watari Ryota. That's the lie I told. The lie would bring before me Arima Kosei. It brought you to me. Please tell Watari that I'm sorry. Well, but still, I guess it won't take long for Watari to forget all about me. As a friend, he's a funny guy, but I'd rather have someone more sincere. And please tell Tsubaki that I'm sorry. I'm just someone who's passing though, who'll be gone. I didn't want to leave behind an awkward mess, so I couldn't tell Tsubaki. Or rather, even if I asked her straight up, please introduce me to Arima, I don't think Tsubaki would have been okay with that. After all, Tsubaki was so crazy about you. We'd all known that for a long time. The only ones who didn't know were you and Tsubaki. The you that my sneaky lie brought to me wasn't who I'd imagined. You were more negative and passive than I thought. Not to mention stubborn, relentless, and a camera voyeur. Your voice was lower than I thought, and you were more manly than I thought. And you were just as gentle as I thought. The river was so cold and felt so good when we jumped off Courage Bridge, wasn't it? The round moon peeking into the music room looked like a delicious steam bun. When we raced the train, I really thought we could win. It was fun singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star together under the shining star, wasn't it? There's just something about school at night, right? Don't you think snow looks like cherry blossom petals to be consumed by everything off stage when I'm a musician? That just doesn't make sense, does it? Isn't it funny how the most unforgettable scenes can be so trivial? What about you? Was I able to live inside someone's heart? Was I able to live inside your heart? Do you think you'll remember me at least a little? You better not hit that reset button. Don't forget about me, okay? That's a promise, okay? I'm glad it's you after all. Will I reach you? I hope I can reach you. Arima kose. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Sorry I didn't finish all the canals. Sorry I hit you so hard. Sorry I was such a brat. A million times over, I'm sorry. Thank you. P.S. I'm enclosing something that I've always treasured. If you don't want it, feel free to tear it up and throw it away. The feeling of someone you know dying will always overshadow the happiness you feel in the moment. Now that I'm older, I understand that this letter wasn't supposed to have a sad ending. It showed the beauty of how music and love for someone can make you change for the better. Arima didn't really have a childhood. A child turned robot, not knowing the love that a mother should have given to a kid. Kaori knew she didn't have much time left, but expressed herself through music and living life with no regrets. Kaori never had a plan when trying to fix Arima's chained heart. She just tried to show Arima the love he never had. She was patient. Remember, healing someone who hasn't been treated right is the hardest thing anyone can do. It's always easier to leave, but to give that person the respect, time, and effort to heal a heart that was broken takes an incredible amount of selflessness. Making sure they know you are truly there for them. To truly heal, they need to express their pain to someone who truly matters to them. Death may have been knocking on Kaori's door, but she knew Arima needed someone like her. Maybe I'm overthinking all of this. I am. But sometimes I like to think that anime can be more than just animation. Every show can have some kind of meaning that you can take into real life. Naruto tells us that no dream is too big. Plastic Memories tells us to cherish every single moment I have with the loved one, because that moment won't happen anymore when they leave this earth. Great Teacher Onizuka tells you to live life on your terms and make sure that no one weighs you down. I could keep going on, but I think we should call it. Anyway, I'm on Spring Joel 758, and all I got left to say is sayonara.